Next concept of the chapter is organic evolution. What is organic evolution? Organic evolution can be defined as slow, gradual, continuous process through which present day complex form of life developed from pre-existing simple form of life. To explain the phenomenon of organic evolution, first theory put forth by Lamarck. This theory is also called as Lamarckism or theory of inheritance of acquired character. This theory is based on three principles or premises. The first, effect of environment on organism. Second, effect of use and disuse of organ, and third premises is the inheritance of acquired character. Now we first focus on the first and second premises, that is effect of environment on organism and effect of use and disuse of organ. According to Lamarck, when environmental conditions change to adapt in that new climatic conditions, organisms have to use or constantly use the particular organs. Because of them, the continuous exercise of that organ becomes more and more prominent, and those organs are not utilized constantly, they becomes weaker and weaker. So in this manner, the exercise, continuous use of organs is responsible for well development of that organ, and those organs are not constantly used. That organs day by day becomes weaker, and in after some generations it becomes a vestigial organ. To support these two premises, Lamarck gives an example, that is of giraffe. In earlier days, giraffe has a short neck as well as the short forearm. When the climatic conditions change, the rich vegetations converts into the few higher trees. To obtain the leaves from higher trees, giraffe has to stretch their neck as well as their forearms. Constant use and stretching of their necks and forearms and that continued exercises may responsible for elongation of the neck of giraffe as well as their forearms. And this property inherited from one to the next generation, and when constantly that property is inherited from one to the next generations, the new species of giraffes were developed. That means they having the long neck and longer forearms. Okay, those are not seen in earlier species. So in this manner, to explain the first two premises, he gave the example of giraffe as climatic conditions change. To adapt in that climatic conditions, some organs are constantly used, that organs becomes more and more prominent, and those are not used, they become weaker, and later on they becomes a vestigial organs, or they may disappear from the body. Now we focus on the third premises of Lamarckism, that is inheritance of acquired character. As per the reference of giraffe's example, Lamarck believes that those characters developed in the lifetime of an organisms, they inherit from one to the next generations, and constant inheritance of these characters in every generation, they becomes more and more prominent, and the time comes the organisms developed, those are totally vary from the earlier existing species, and in this manner there will be the formation of new species. Number of biologists raise an objection against Lamarckism or the theory of inheritance of acquired character. According to them, inheritance of acquired character is not responsible for the formation of new species. To explain this phenomenon, German biologist August Weismann performed an experiment. He cut the tail of rat successively for 22 generations, and every generation he observed that even though the parent without a tail, those are artificially cut by the German biologist August Weismann, every successive generation the offspring develops with the tail, and with the help of this experiment he proved that whatever the changes observed in the body in a lifetime, they are not inherited to their offsprings, but the changes those are observed only in germplasm inherited from one to the next generation, and that changes in germplasm only responsible for the formation of new species, not the acquired characters. Now we'll focus on the highly appreciated theory of organic evolution, those was given by Charles Robert Darwin. According to Charles Robert Darwin, What is organic evolution? It means the descent with modification. It means the present day more complex forms was we observed, that is developed only because of modifications in the earlier simple form of life. His explanation he put forth in the form of Darwinism or Darwin's theory of natural selection. In his book, the name of that book is The Theory of Origin of New Species by Means of Natural Selection. Before study in detail about the Darwinism, we will first focus on the biography of Darwin. Darwin is a Charles Robert Darwin and British naturalist. He went on voyage of world from 27th December 1831 to October 1836. Within this 5 years of period, he visited the number of villages of South America by a ship. The name of ship is HMS Beagle. He observed the varieties of floras and faunas or diversities in the floras and faunas in different villages of South America. Especially inspired and studied the diverse form of tortoise and Darwin's finches or birds in a Galapagos Island as well as Archipelagos Island of South America. When Darwin returned to his hometown, that is Great Britain, based on his observation, collection of living as well as fossil material, he get inspired also from the statements given by I.C. Lyle, an ecologist, P.R. Malthus, an economist, and different plant breeders who are related with organic evolution. He published the book related with organic evolution. The name of book is The Origin of New Species by Means of Natural Selection. In this book, he explained the Darwinism or the theory of organic evolution. Those are worldwide accepted by different biologists. Now we'll focus on the postulates given by Darwin in his theory to explain the phenomenon of organic evolution by means of natural selection. The first postulate or principle is overproduction or prodigality. Second one is struggle for existence. Third one is variation or organic variation. Next one is natural selection or survival of fittest. And the final one is origin of new species. First postulate or principle, overproduction or prodigality of organism. It means every living organism has highest potential to give maximum number of offsprings, to multiply their own kind, to perpetuate their own species. To explain this phenomenon, Darwin studied number of plants and animal species, and with the help of certain examples, he explained this postulate. He gives number of fast breeder animals as well as number of slow breeder animals to explain this phenomenon. Here in our syllabus, we'll study the one example from fast breeder animal, that is female salmon fish. Female salmon fish has the ability to lay 28 lakh eggs per breeding season. If all eggs survive within several generations, the population of the salmon will be unable to accommodate in the seas, or there is no any space for other organism in the seas because of the too much potential or highest reproducing ability of the salmon and their tremendous population. But in natural sense, it is not happen because of, even though the highest rate of reproduction, number of offsprings suffered by struggle for existence or number of natural calamities, and they are unable to survive, and in successive generation the population somewhat constant. Second example given to explain the overproduction is of slow breeder, that is a pair of female elephant in their lifespan of 100 years is able to reproduce 7 offsprings maximum. If all that 7 offsprings or elephants survive, and from that single pair of elephant, in the span of 750 years on earth, there would be 19 million elephants. But in real sense, such things are not there, because even though the highest rate of reproduction, all organism has to face the number of competitions to survive, and during that competitions most of them eliminate, and the number of the population or the organisms somewhat constant in successive generation. To explain this phenomenon, he gave the second postulate or the principle, that is struggle for existence. Struggle for existence means the competition faced by the every living organism to survive on the earth, to continue their existence. To explain this concept, Darwin gives three examples or three different types of struggles: intraspecific struggle, interspecific struggle, and environmental struggle. What is meant by intraspecific struggle? It means the competition between the organisms belonging to the same species. This competition or this type of interspecific struggle is the more severe struggle among the all different type of struggle for existence, because the basic needs of every organism, those belong to the same species, are alike, same, such as food, mate, space, and to fulfill their need, they have to compete with the other members of the population. So as compared to the interspecific and environmental struggle, the most important and severe struggle is of intraspecific struggle. Second type of struggle given by Darwin is interspecific struggle. It means the competition between the organisms belong to the different species. For example, if we took the example of herbivores, number of herbivores are there belonging to the different species, but food is their basic need. They are alike. For example, goat also rely on the herbs, cows also rely on the herbs, deers are also relies on herbs, but they belong to different species. So they fight with each other or they compete with each other to fulfill their basic need or the food. In this manner, organisms have to face not only intraspecific struggle but interspecific struggle also, and those are with overpower. They exist in the nature, they multiply in the nature by means of reproduction. Along with the interspecific and intraspecific struggle, organism has to face number of natural calamities also, such as desert, drought, heavy rains, earthquake, forest fire, and so many other extreme environmental conditions they have to face. And those are easily adapt in that all in extreme environmental conditions, they are survive, they are able to reproduce, and they continue their own generations. So in this manner, even though the highest rate of reproduction, the population somewhat constant in successive generation, because the all offspring has to face different types of competitions, that is struggle for existence, and those are with superior qualities overpower and easily adapt in all this struggle, they are able to survive and then they continue their offsprings. The next probabilities or postulations given by Darwin is the organic variation. Organic variation, it means the variation observed among the different type of organisms, for example morphological, physiological, behavioral, habit, space, these different types of variations, those found among the organism belonging to the same species or different species, they make a great difference among the organisms. And according to Darwin, these variations shown in their morphology, physiology, habit, behavior plays very important role in the process of evolution. Those having the ability or the good variations to adapt in the extreme climatic conditions, they are able to survive and their species is continued. So in this manner, organic variation like morphology, physiology, behavior, habit plays a much more important role, and with the help of good quality or favorable variations, organisms are able to survive and continue their species. Next one is the natural selection or survival of fittest. Natural selection term given by Darwin, whereas survival of fittest for the same concept is the term given by Herbert Spencer. What it means? It means the organism has two type of variations, useful variations and useless variations. According to Darwin, useful variations are called as favorable variations, and those are useless variations, they are called as unfavorable variations. So those variations, differences among the organism make them able to survive in all the different type of struggles, adapt themselves in the new climatic conditions. Because of that adaptation, they are able to reproduce and continue their generations. Such variations are called as useful variations. And because of those variations, organisms are unable to survive in the population, they eliminate from the population, that variations are called as useless variations or unfavorable variations. So useful variations is responsible for to adapt the organisms into the climatic conditions. It means that adaptation means the natural selection. In spite of different competitions, those organisms are easily adapted in the climatic conditions, enjoy their life, able to reproduce, means that organism is selected by nature to give their generations, and during the process of evolution they may be responsible for the formation of new species with their own species. Same phenomenon is called as survival of fittest by Herbert Spencer. Means those compete with other organisms and having a good qualities or good variations, they are only survive, they only giving the chance to reproduce and perpetuate their species. So in this manner those are adapted, they are selected by nature, and that one having the fitness to survive in such conditions. So according to Herbert Spencer, this phenomenon is called as survival of fittest. So next one is the origin of new species. Those organisms having the good qualities, favorable variations, generation after generation, these variations becomes prominent, and after a long period of time, they give their offsprings with only good quality variations to adapt in the climatic conditions. In this manner, they becomes totally vary from the earlier one, and they gives rise to new species from there.